welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marissa Lachlan. I'm a holistic nutritionist and I love all things to do with health and wellness. And I'm just in my bathroom here sipping my morning coffee, and I wanted to give you guys an update on my skincare routine and my makeup routines. If you've been following me on social media, you know that earlier on in this year I mentioned that I made a huge mistake by taking some TikTok advice and changing up my makeup and skincare routine, and I still regret it to this day. And I'm actually going to spill the details on what that company was and which companies I have switched to that has made a tremendous change. And if you haven't seen any of my previous videos or been following me on social media, I'm just going to put a quick picture here on what my skin was like in January. And this was probably one of the worst acne outbreaks that I've had in quite some time. And being a nutritionist, you know all of the things, the foods you should eat, the things you should avoid, whether it's externally or internally. And when I started to have these breakouts earlier this year, I just felt so low. I felt like I was failing myself. And honestly, that's just a huge burden that I think any profession will carry with themselves if they're not up to their own standards. And that's okay, and I'm fully okay to admit that and move on from that. And I'm so happy that I changed up my skincare and makeup routine, and I'm going to show you all those details today in this video. So to start, I am going to wash my face, apply my serums, apply my SPF, and I will show you which ones I'm using, and then I will take you through my natural makeup routine. So I've got my coffee, I've got you, let's get started. All right, step one, I'm going to just quickly cleanse my face using the St. Anne's Skin Nourishment Gel Cleanser. I recently talked about this on the Joanne's Place YouTube channel. I will leave that link below and you guys can get my full review on the St. Anne's skincare line. I'm actually really loving it. Next up, I'm going to use the toner. I just put a little bit on a cotton pad and rub it all over just to make sure that the pores are nice and clean and tight and feeling smooth. Next up, Holy Grail. Seriously, this is one of the best products I've ever added into my skincare routine. It's the Mad Hippie Vitamin C Serum. This really helps with hyperpigmentation, acne scarring, it's anti-aging, lots of antioxidants, and it's just so soothing on the skin. One thing to note is a vitamin C serum does make the skin more susceptible for sunburns, so don't forget to add facial SPF to your daily routine as well. Every single day, I'm applying the Mad Hippie sunscreen. I love this one. It does have a little bit of a white tinge to it after you blend it all in, but honestly, it just works really well. I find it to be nice and thick, lots of hydrating oils, and I just love it. All right, so that is my every single day morning skincare routine. I do that whether or not I am applying makeup or not. I want to make sure that I have the vitamin C in there to help with scarring and pigmentation, also brighten the skin, and then the most important piece, which is the SPF. This is really the key to anti-aging. So SPF every single day of the year, not just sunny days, okay? And if you do have SPF in your foundation, I think that's fantastic. But if you look at the amount that I applied of the SPF, it was about a dime size. You're not typically getting that full amount of SPF in your makeup as you would in the cream. So layer that on. So this is my favorite SPF. So the Holy Grail skincare company that I constantly come back to, and is probably one of the top quality, natural, organic cosmetic lines on the market, is Inika Organics. I'm going to dive into each product here in a minute, but first I want to tell you a little bit about the brand. So they are based out of Australia, and if you know anything that comes from Australia, their standards are high. They have fantastic quality standards, especially when it comes to certified organic products. So I definitely trust in the company and the certifications that they're running to make sure that what you're getting in terms of what's in the ingredient list is in fact that. They are vegan and cruelty-free, which I think is incredibly important. And most skincare and cosmetic products should in fact be vegan and cruelty-free. They should not be tested on animals. They should be tested on humans. They should also have an ingredient list that is not needed to be tested because there's no harm in those ingredients. And that's what Inika stands for, which I think is fantastic. Also, they have amazing standards in terms of what they will not put into their ingredients. So there's no silicones, paraben, phthalates, there's no gluten, there's no fillers, oxychloride, oxybenzonite, mineral oil, EDTA, gelatin and thickening ingredient, processed oils like sunflower oils, sodium lauryl sulfate, no PEGs, which is polyethylene glycols, no preservatives, and no perfumes, which is so important. No fragrance, no artificial anything that's in there. They also use a lot of natural ingredients that are really therapeutic and anti-aging for the skin, like aloe, sea buckthorn, rose hip oil, and all in which those are also certified organic, which means that you're getting no pesticides or herbicides that are sprayed onto those ingredients and herbs, which then can come into contact with your skin and then causing a toxicity buildup throughout the liver as well. So I'm gonna go through each product that I use and talk about the specific ingredients that are in that product and why I think they are superior compared to other products that are on the market. Okay, first and foremost, I use their primer. This is fantastic. And the reason this is so good is because it does contain hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is really great for keeping moisture locked in the skin to prevent dehydration. And also, if you notice, sometimes the makeup can sometimes separate or also clog the pores and it looks like your makeup is kind of patchy. I really notice a difference when I use hyaluronic acid to help my makeup set better and also stay on the face longer. So your primer definitely should have hyaluronic acid in it as an active ingredient to help with hydration. I really like this product because it's so smooth going on. It is white, but it does completely blend in to a nice clear, oh, it smells so good too. So put this on everywhere. Don't forget to do your eyelids with this, especially if you are putting on any type of eyeshadow or eyeliner. So it smells delicious. It's not super sticky. There is a little bit of stick to it. Again, that's because it is a primer, so we do want some things to stick towards it. As I said, the key ingredient that I really appreciate in here is the hyaluronic acid. Okay, next up, I'm going to apply a foundation. Now, I actually want to highlight, I am literally have zero makeup expertise. This is just how I do it, and I more or less just want to talk about the brand and why I switched to help support my acne-prone skin. So the two products that I use from Inika for foundation is their certified organic liquid foundation with hyaluronic acid. Again, I can't get enough of hyaluronic acid. I really love this. This was the first product I ever used by Inika, and I really like it. Now that it's summertime though, my skin, I've been using a lot of serums, so I feel like my skin is a little bit more oily than usual. So some days that I just feel like there's too much oil, I started to use their press powder. I absolutely love it. I have fallen in love with it. I can't believe how much I love it because I've never been a press powder. I've either been loose and usually this, but I'm really impressed with the coverage. Now, I will say I'm definitely someone who likes to build coverage because I do have scarring, I do have acne, so I do like to have that nice, fresh, even skin tone look. And I will say years and years ago, before I was in this wellness industry, the foundation that I used was the Kat Von D Tattoo Coverage Foundation. And if anyone's ever used that, it literally was formulated to cover tattoos. Like that is the full coverage that I have been used to for so many years. And it's been really hard to find a coverage that is all day, but I will say Inika is by far the closest I have ever gotten for coverage. And one other thing about Inika foundation is that they do have a wide variety of colors, which I think is incredibly important as a company to make sure that they are including all skin colors and making sure that everyone has the opportunity to use their products. So I'm actually going to use both the products today to show you the coverage in which I am building when I'm using these two products. I'm going to use the liquid foundation on one half of my face and the pressed powder on the other half. So let's get to building. Okay, so first up, I don't use a whole lot, so I do find a little goes a long way. I always put it on my hand. I don't know, I probably learned that somewhere. And then I do just put it all over to start before blending in. I've recently learned to let it sit for just a minute or two, and that helps to kind of thicken, to my understanding, thicken the foundation and dry it out a little bit so that it's easier to spread. And make sure that you're always obviously also doing the neck. So I'm just gonna blend it in. You know what, a lot of people use beauty blenders rather than using brushes these days, but I'm just gonna be honest. I find the brush to be easier to clean and to use. personally. And then I just buff it out. Now what I like is that this is very buildable. So you can layer this on and have more full coverage or less. It's completely up to you. So I'm just moving it to a window where you can see a little bit more natural light to get the full coverage look. As you can see, no foundation and foundation over here. So this is the liquid foundation, and now I'm going to apply the powder to the other side. So for the powder, I use a bigger rounded brush for this. Again, this is a very buildable product, I find. So I just layer it on. Don't forget the neck. I personally feel like the powder gives you more of like that natural look. It just depends on the day. Some days I want fuller coverage and I will use the liquid, and other days I will use the powder. Okay, there's a little bit more natural sunlight for you to see. I do have textured skin, so just be mindful of that. This side is the powder. I don't feel that it's cakey at all. It's a very light wear. And then this side is the cream. So I will say this is more of a darker pigmentation. I would say this is more my color right now. This is more from the winter. Even coverage, honestly, for both, and both are buildable. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some concealer. Okay, this is their concealer. I am using the color Light. And I really like their concealer. Not only do they use certified organic ingredients in this as well, but it also has aloe and green tea, which are both really great for under the eyes, helping with aging and preventing wrinkles. So I just add a little bit under the eye, and I just actually continue to use my finger to dab it in. I don't use a brush. My areas of expertise is not applying makeup. It's more the ingredient. And then I am going to apply a little bit to some of my bigger acne breakouts and just even this all out. A little goes a really long way. I've already said that about the foundation, but same for the concealer. It's very pigmented. Perfect. And then I do just run my big circle brush just over those areas really quickly, just to balance everything out. Another amazing product by Inika is they do have a mattifying powder and which is a setting powder as well too. It's translucent, so it completely dissolves into whatever skin color you are using for your foundation. And I have used it before. I'm all out, but I really, really like that. If you are someone who loves using the liquid foundation, but you do feel that you're more oily, this helps to add that mattifying look, but also soak up some of that extra oil as well too. So that is an amazing option. Okay, so that is my foundation, my concealer. Now let me show you how I'm going to contour, which is not really contouring, but just what I do. I like to add just a little bit of bronzer and highlighter. So I actually use this palette by Inika. It's the Almond shade. The reason I like this is because it's like a 2-in-1 product. Personally, it takes me forever to go through a bronzer like before it expires, and I love this because you get both combinations in one. I actually also use this highlighter for eyeshadow, and sometimes I use a bronzer as like a crease shadow, but I actually use this fairly often. So this is what I do with this. Again, I am no makeup expert by any means, but this is what I do. And honestly, I get quite a few compliments on my makeup and my skin, and this is why. This is what I do. Okay, angled brush, bronzer. I just take a little bit, I put it around my hairline. Somebody is going to comment and be like, Marissa, that's not the right thing to do. Guess what? I don't care. This is what I do. So I just brush it into the hairline, and then I go from my ear along underneath that cheekbone, but then I brush it up. I literally don't know if there's any legitimacy to this, but this is what I do. I brush it up so that it kind of pulls my cheekbone look up. And then it will come all the way up to that hairline as well too. And I don't really do a lot here. It's just enough to add, I think people call it dimension. I don't know. And then I also do along my jawline. and then a little bit down the neck. And I don't use a lot of this, so this is why it takes me forever to go through it, which is why I really like to use this palette for that. Okay, that's that. Highlighter, which is this color right here. I use, I don't even know what these brushes are called. This little fan brush. And I just tap it on there. And that's it. I just pull it up from the top of the cheekbone. That's it. That's that. Okay, next up is blush. I love blush. I love just that natural little rosy cheek look. So I actually use the Inika Puff Pot. So it actually has this applicator on top, which is kind of like a microfiber sponge almost. And this is the name of it. I love the color of it. It's just so light. It's so easy to use. So you literally just dab it onto the face and it adds a little bit of color. You can also use this as an eyeshadow as well, but it's very light, very, very minimal. Now, at this point, I am going to set my face. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do that with. I would normally use something very light. Like in the past, usually I would choose to use rose water, just a single ingredient, super easy to use. Right now, I'm just using the Rasa Pitta facial toner. I'm just using this because it's what I have on hand because I ran out of rose water, and it's kind of very similar concept. There's not a whole lot of oils or anything in here that's going to make it very heavy. It's very gentle and can just set your makeup. So that's it, and I just let that soak in. Okay, so that is, we'll say the base layer laid. I'm now going to do my brows, a tiny bit of eyeliner, and mascara. Okay, next up, brows. I am not somebody who laminates or fills my eyebrows, so I do this all naturally. And I use the Inika Brow Crown. And this is my shade, is the Blonde Bombshell. There's only a couple shades, but a lot of them are really versatile. So I'm just going to quickly fill in my brows. One thing I so appreciate about this is that they put the brush on the end. I think all eyebrow pencils must come with that because it's important, I think, at least. Okay. And I also don't do a whole lot here. I just kind of fill in my patchy spots and connect the dots. I'm lucky that my eyebrows are pretty full. I just kind of shape them and I just fluff them out. And those are done. Okay, as I mentioned, if I want to do a light eyeshadow, I will actually use the highlighter that is in the Baked Contour Duo Almond. I love that color. It just, I think it looks really nice with my eyes. So I either use that, or I've actually been really loving using this eye pencil. The color is gold. I really didn't think I'd be the person that liked these types of eye pencils, but I love it. It's a gold color, and I just put a little bit on the lid of my eye and then I blend it out. So let me do that. And then I do a little bit on the underlid. So that's that. And then lastly for the eyes, it's just mascara. So I have the Inika Long Lash. This is just the small trial size that I have right now. I just ran out of the big one, but it's a full size mascara. I love the brush. The reason I love it is because it goes thick to thin, and my eyelashes at the very end are very, very tight together. So I really love the way that this applies so naturally. And I swear to you that it is long lasting. I will wear mascara for 12, 14 hours a day. So long lasting definitely matters to me, and this is long lasting and it does not flake. Nobody likes when it flakes. And I'm apply a little bit on the bottom, not a lot, because my bottom lashes are kind of long. And that's the eyes. Okay, lastly is the lips. I'm not a big lipstick person. I feel like my lips are really small, especially my upper lips. So I think that sometimes lipstick looks really funny on me. And I just don't love the look always on myself. But I do love lip stains. I do really, really like lip stains. I want you to see I have lips. I just don't want them to be glossy. That's what I don't really like. Now, what I use is the Inika Conditioning Serum. So this looks yellow, but it goes on clear, and it is the lip serum. It's very, very hydrating. So if you have dry lips, but I also just like to put this on kind of as like that primer before I put on a lip stain. It absorbs really quickly. It is high in omega-9s because it has sea buckthorn in it, which is really great for hydrating, nourishing, and also anti-aging as well too. These are my favorite two colors of the lipstick crowns. These act more as stains because they have more of a matte finish. This one does have some sparkle, but it still has more of a matte finish. So the Nude is one of my favorite, and the Garnet. Those are my two favorite colors. I think they're the most natural colors, and they kind of go with everything. So I'm going to show you the Garnet one because that's probably my favorite one right now, which is just the dark red. And I am not even somebody who applies this properly. I literally just put enough on so that there's a little bit of color, and I just rub it in, and that's all I do. Again, I'm no makeup specialty. I don't really use a lip liner. I'm not big on lipsticks that are glossy. I just want a little tiny bit of color so that you can see I have lips. That's all I do. The Nude one I use pretty much every day just to fill out my lips a little bit more so that there's some color. But this kind of just adds a little bit of red and pink tone to it. All right, guys. That is my everyday makeup and skincare routine, which is very supportive for acne-prone skin. As I mentioned already, I've been on quite the journey this year in helping to heal my skin, reduce my hyperpigmentation, reduce my acne breakouts, and just have healthy, glowing skin again. And I truly feel like by making the switch back to Inika, it's really, really helped me along this journey. So as I told you, I would tell you what the company was in this video, and it is actually The Ordinary. And some of you might be shocked that one, I have even bought into this company, or two, that I've had such negative results because so many people rave about The Ordinary. But unfortunately, these products do not have any active ingredients in them like Inika, which can actually help to heal and prevent acne, reduce pigmentation, redness, and also scarring. Whereas that is what Inika is put out there in terms of the ingredients that they use, as well as all their anti-aging benefits, which is just so incredible. So from The Ordinary, I had tried their foundation, their hyaluronic acid, their primers, which their primers are awful. I am not even saying this because of like how bad of an experience I had, but their primers literally just sit on your face and all of the makeup just moves after you apply it. So if you use it, kudos to you, but if you're contemplating trying The Ordinary, honestly, I really don't recommend it. And most people gravitate towards it because of the price point, but what I can 100% say in confidence is you are paying for what you are getting. So when you are using cosmetic ingredients, make sure that you are investing in products that are safe for your skin, that are full of nutrients, that actually have healing properties to it like aloe vera, sea buckthorn, hyaluronic acid, and that are derived from natural ingredients to make the colors in your products. So I'm gonna finish doing my hair, getting ready, and then I will wrap up this video for you guys. All right, guys, this is my everyday finished look using the Inika organic products. Like I said, I always circle back to Inika because of the amazing ingredients that they include in all of their skincare products. And that is so important because you want to make sure that the products you're putting on your skin has your health at the best interest of their company as well. So using ingredients like aloe and pomegranate and sea buckthorn, calendula, prickly pear, all of those natural herbs help to support and nourish the skin from the outside in. And it's very important for me that I'm using products without all of the fillers like silicones, pegs, fragrances, sulfates, sodium lauryl sulfates, gluten, that they're vegan and not tested on animals, and all of the good, amazing things. So in the comments, I will leave all of the products that I used today, the name, and you can find all of these amazing Inika products at Joanne's Place. And we actually have them on sale to help support your transition to natural makeup. So they are currently on 15% off, but if you buy 3 or more products, you receive 20% off your Inika purchase. If you guys have any questions, make sure you comment them below. And also, I would love to know what natural makeup companies you are using that you would suggest me to try next in an upcoming video. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know that you're following along on my acne and skincare journey and that you want to see more of this. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channels because we are well on the way to having 1,000 followers. That's all for today. I will see you guys in my next video.